I thought of another way to possibly explain how I open myself up to what I refer to as the God frequency. I mean, I don't know what else to call it, like the way I can speak to God and how I'm using my mind now to feel Him and be Him, but be me without losing my mind. See, this is something that's happened to many, many people that lose their minds, but they weren't studying and learning and taming their brain and focusing. If you only knew the hours and hours and days and the last few years, I mean, I've spent at least a year of my life in time-wise, not just like, every day for 10 minutes of a year. I'm talking 365 days, 24 hours of, like at least alone, centered, trying to find my spot, trying to find my, offer myself and be accepting and feel centered in the earth and centered as a being and centered as whatever, and focusing my mind and learning how to focus and being confident and being, harmonious and being happy no matter what, and keeping that positive vibe. And people always say positive, and it started as that, and trying to be motivational. So for the last few years I've been doing that. Like whenever I'm by myself, and now whenever I'm anywhere, I do it while I'm awake. I do it everywhere I go. I feel the positive vibe inside me, and it just grows and grows every day. And if people who see me in person know that I'm just the happiest guy in the world, and I can't help it, because I mean, you would be too. And you want me to keep my secret, and I guess I can keep my secret. If I'll ask you, and if you think I should shut up, then I'll shut up. That's the thing. Here's the free will thing, or whatever. If you want me to shut up, I'll shut up. But if you want me to tell the truth, I believe in my heart that I can save the world. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I believe in my heart that I can. I have the answers for people. I can help a lot of people. I mean, if it came down to our human frame of mind, I can help so many people. I can help more people than anyone who's invented any invention, more than Microsoft and more than any of those people. Not like it matters, so I don't have anything against them. They did great jobs. They've helped us do anything. They've helped us develop so much. Without them, there wouldn't have been the concept of the internet, even though the internet was out there in the air floating around. And where'd they get that from? The God in them. So, I mean, it was really just God in Bill Gates, God in whoever invented the cell phone, God in all these other people, God in all these other people, God in all these other people, God in me. That's what it is. I mean, it's as hard as it seems to believe. I don't think it seems hard to believe at all. I believe it's the simplest thing to understand and see. But the reason that we're having a hard time getting it is because, we've heard religions. So the people that are religious believe that. The people that aren't religious are confused because there's so many religions. They, first of all, didn't know which one to choose from, and or they don't believe any of it because they think it's a bunch of crap, which it is all sort of a bunch of crap. But at the same time, just because we say crap doesn't mean that it doesn't have good intention and good purpose. I love the fact that people are trying to find their spiritual higher power. But if they want a real answer, why don't they look for the real answer instead of just believe it in a book? A book isn't always the right way to find an answer. Books are a way for us to learn about ourselves, or like open ourselves up. And even when we're just like reading a fictional book at first, we're opening our creativity, and that is opening some of ourselves, because God is creativity too. When I say this stuff about the spiritual realms, like I literally can focus hard enough to be there. I can run around in your hair, as lice. You know what I mean? I can do any of those things with my mind because I focused it so much, and it seems hard to believe, but I'll tell you, start by putting a dot on anything. I do it on a wall or on a white piece of paper, but not let anything in your peripheral, something that you can stare at. And something in your very far peripheral is fine, but if you have like something sitting on your counter with all these trinkets sitting around, it's going to be hard to focus your eyes on that. But if you want to put a dot on something that you can see very clearly and challenge yourself to stare at it for 10 minutes straight, it'll be hard to do it for 20 seconds. After a while, you'll feel like a dork, because when you do a staring contest with somebody, or stare somebody in the eyes for 1 minute straight, those are the two challenges I give you. Put a dot on the wall, and stare at it for 10 minutes, or stare another person in the eyes for a minute straight. And you'll see that there's something way more than just a human being. There's something inside you that you can control that makes you do the things you do, or allows you to do the things you do if you have no control. So you can make yourself do it, or you can allow it to control you. So you can control yourself or be controlled. It's up to you, and I know how to help you. And I don't mean to sound so confident, because you'll say, oh, he's cocky, whatever, but I'm not cocky. I love you to death, no matter who you are or what you are. I mean, I love concrete. I mean, it sounds funny, but I do. I would get down on my hands and knees in front of anybody and kiss the concrete. Why not? If you want me to kiss the mud, I'll kiss the mud. I don't care. You know, I don't want to do stuff like eat spiders and eat shit like that, because they're living things. I don't want to harm them. In a way, I'm trying to make sure that I say, in a way, I created them, or I helped create them, or the thought of me helped create them. They were the process of creating me. All of the above. But I'm trying, as long as I don't get overly emotional, I can honestly say with 100% fact now. I keep second guessing myself, and that's like when I felt God and experienced God talking or communicating through me. I know that sounds so weird, but it's not as weird as you think. I mean, it's not weird to me at all. It's my life now, and it's something I'm living with, and it's something I'm trying to explain to people and trying to be accepted for. But now I know that I just have to keep it to myself, or at least say it in a different way so it doesn't sound goofy, because it'll take a long time before a lot of people can talk about God without just feeling goofy, because it was such a taboo thing. It would honestly be like people walking around going Dick Burger, Dick Burger, Dick Burger all day. You know what I mean? Because it's like, something as taboo or as strongly believed in or strongly hated or strongly disbelieved in as God, or as the concept of God or the concept of creation or how it all works. That concept itself is something that's so not supposed to be talked about, that if you just constantly say God, 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 just that turns people away from the stuff you're saying, even if the message is something that is real. Because people, if you just say God, people think God isn't real. But don't give it a name. Stop giving it a name then, if you don't want to give it a name. What do you want to start calling it? We as a people can decide what we call God, but I think we should just leave it God. And just realize that we were wrong, and now we can be right about it, okay? Let's do that. I'm at a stop. I want to meditate and sleep. Actually, I should just sleep, because if I meditate, I'll end up staying awake for the rest of the day without getting any nap. And I got big plans. I'm going to hang out with my big bro, who I love so much, and I need to help because he's having problems with his girlfriend. And I'm still, I wanted to just say, hey, I've had the experience, and I'm who you are, and blah, 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 blah. And I was going to do that yesterday, but I figured that would just, he'd be like, what the fuck? Because he's got this stuff going on in his love life, and I'm trying to understand everything as it is. I'm trying to understand what's going on inside my Dan Alexander body, and at the same time, believe it or not, people, this is pretty crazy. God is trying to understand himself through my body and mind, because it's different through each person. Just like you're trying to figure yourself out, that's God trying to figure himself out in you. And just like you're trying to figure yourself out in yourself, I guess the word yourself is God. And the word ourself is God. So from now on, if we say, instead of saying yourself, myself, ourself, you, me, they, we can say God, 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 God. But we'll just keep them the way they are so we can tell each other apart. We do those original things so that we can individualize each other, but we have to realize that we're not individuals on a whole, because we started all together and we're going to end all together. Each one of us is affecting us every single day, every single way. The thoughts you think, the things we do. We're one part of the machine that works together. And I don't mean machine as in a robot, because I don't like the idea of robots. Even as Dan, I didn't like it. But now that I've seen what they could do and possibly could write the formula for how it could be done if I really concentrated, which I will never do, no matter what somebody does. And I shouldn't have said that, because now I've created a whole different storyline, which I'm not going to get into, which I need to stop talking about. See, that's the danger of it. I could say the wrong thing and have somebody else who wants to harm things, who really does believe that I'm right, because honestly I am. From the bottom of my heart, I don't know how I can stop saying that I'm right and being honest, because I say it every day. I feel it every second. I can't and don't want to let it go. If you felt this feeling and had this ability, would you want to let it go? No, you wouldn't. I promise you. It gets really scary at times when you try to embrace humanity so you can be like everybody else so they don't think you're crazy. But then that's when it gets scary. Because holding on to humanity all of a sudden gives you all these masks and roles to play. It does. It really does. I go back to being the bread guy, the dad, the son, the brother, the whatever. I'm like, okay, I can't just be like, love you, love you, love you, love you, whoever you are. I have to be like, oh, you don't know me, and I can see you got a problem, and I know I could help you, but I'm not going to, because you would be really either annoyed or mind blown by the things I have to say. So how do you contain that? I'm still learning this myself, because I have a strong mind and a strong will. I'm not letting it break me, because I've seen how it breaks people every day. It's breaking you right now. When you're not believing me, that's the God, the peace of God, the Spirit. I mean, don't even put the idea of Holy Spirit with his hands together praying or something like that. It's like the same essence that makes a plant grow. It's the same essence that is in us, causing us to grow, but it's now an intelligence that's operating through our brains. So it's trying to understand, and it really is invisible, like frequencies of remote control, and invisible like the wind blowing. It really is that, but you can tap into it. Just like you can look at the sun and feel the sun's heat on your skin. You can tap into it with your mind, because it's in your mind, and it is your mind, and it is what created every ounce of you. Does that make sense? So all you have to do is open your mind and open your heart and believe a little bit. Your mind, your heart, and your belief. The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. I know that sounds crazy because you saw it in a different way, because somebody else explained it a different way just to give it a picture. But that was their picture that nobody else saw until 5 days ago, 6 days. It's 8 days ago, because today's Thursday. Yesterday was a week, so I'm not even keeping track of time anymore, because it doesn't really matter to me. I only have to keep track of time so I know which stops I have and which days I get to blessedly see my kids, and I can't wait until it really happens, because I see it happening right now. That's the thing, as I see it happening right now, so I'm just waiting for when it unfolds in my human day-to-day time and space life. I know that sounds weird to say it like that, but that's really what's happening to all of us. You can look into your future and see it and feel it and know that you're doing it. You can actually get to the point where you're vividly imagining it like you're doing it. But then you have to come back to reality and wait till it happens to you and just keep faith. That's what faith is. You go out there, you see it, you develop your mind, or at least your belief system. You don't even have to have a strong mind. Maybe you dream really well, but you just have to start believing that what you're thinking and feeling and seeing, and maybe even lucky enough to visualize. If you can visualize the pictures, you're on your way, man. I tell you, keep working on visualizing things with your eyes closed. That's more important than seeing with your eyes open, I tell you. Because when the sun was the sun and it wanted to make a moon, it didn't have eyes. It just felt it. And when the space was space and didn't have the sun yet, and God was thinking, or whatever we call God was thinking, there wasn't any eyes yet. So that when you close your eyes and you find that center and you want to close your mind or center yourself or whatever that is, however you want to say it, that's basically like, because that's how everything started. Everything started from that not seeing with your eyes, but seeing with your mind. The mind. That's what it all is. God is mind, I guess. Like, he's the God mind. He's more than that, but it's just a word you can put to it. That's what words we made, So, anyway, I love you, and I've been talking for way too long again, and I got to do some work and take some sleep, or get a nap and take some sleep, and take a nap and get some sleep. There we go. I love you. Bye.